Hey everybody, it's Joe at Synergy17, and today I'm going to do a quick tutorial in CorelDraw. One of our members had an issue where they couldn't create space between two objects, and they want these to be the same color. So it's very similar to the way we would do the knockout, but I'm going to kind of show you the manual way of doing this, at least the way I would do it. So they have a truck here, and then they have the letter Q. So the first thing I notice is this is just grouped up here, not this part, but the truck is. So I'm going to, first of all, make a copy of it, just so I have a copy to mess around with. And I'm going to take this truck, and I'm going to ungroup it. Okay. The next thing I want to do is, so now I have all these little pieces. I just want to make it into one object. So I'm going to grab it all and combine it. So now I notice I can see the stroke on it. So I'm just going to turn this off, just so you can see how it gets darker, because now the stroke is a lot, well, there is no stroke on it at all, so it looks thicker. So a quick way of doing this, let's make this black, because it's going to be an all black design, is this is the problem. It looks like it's in front, but it's really in back. So a simple way is you can just add a stroke to it, and it creates that space. It's just visual space. It's not, in other words, when you look at it, it looks right, but it's really not, there's not really any space there. So it's just a stroke on it. And if we apply, the problem is if we want a bigger space in it, like we go to 1, we start losing the detail of this, because there's some detail right here in the truck. Watch me go back. You can see this detail. Once we make the stroke too thick, you start losing that detail. So we get a bigger gap here between the Q and this, but it starts messing up the design. So what we're going to do is we're going to create our own space, and we're going to knock it out of the Q. So what I'm going to do, or the way I would do it, is I'm just going to turn the stroke off right now, just so we don't have one. Actually, we'll just make it a hairline. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this curve apart here. Okay. And then I'm going to highlight it all, so I have all the pieces, and I'm going to use this tool here that creates an object around the whole thing. So I'm going to click that, and I know you can't really see it, so I'm going to make it red. I'm going to right click just to make the stroke red so you can see what I did. So we have this piece here, just so you can see it. I'm going to highlight this all so I can combine it again. I'm holding, so when I highlight this all, I get the red too, and I don't want the red, so I'm going to shift and I'm going to click to deselect it, and I'm going to combine the truck. So now the truck is one, whoops, the truck is one piece again. So if I change the colors, you can see that it's one piece. So undoing now. Okay, so now I have this outline here. What I want to do is I want to contour this, and let's see, I'll make this hairline as well. I want to contour this so much space, as much as the gap as I want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the contour tool, and I'm not sure how much space they need, but I'll just do one for example. I'm going to do 0.1. It's going to just give me a little bit of space here. So I'm going to 0.01, a little bit of space, and I'm going to do it to the outside. So when I do that, it's going to take a few seconds to do this because it's got a lot of lines on it. But I'll show you what it's going to do. It's going to basically it's going to create an outline of the truck. So you can see that it created this little outline right here. Okay, so now let's have this outline. I'm going to right click and I'm going to break the contour group apart. So that means I have two pieces here. Watch, let me show you. Let's see. So now if I take this, see I got two pieces here. This first one is that first boundary. The second one is a contour made. Well, I'm going to click the first line, the boundary line. Then I'm going to hold shift and I'm going to click the second one, the contour, and I'm going to combine those. So it looks the same, but what did I really do is, now watch if I fill this with a color. You'll see that I can actually fill it. So do you see that? So now you can see that I have this fill right here, and that's what I wanted. I want to now, I'm sorry, I just undid what I did before. I just did Control Z and undid. I just want to show it to you though. So now what we're going to do is, now that we have this little channel here, we're going to delete that from this Q here. So everywhere the Q is at as it goes through, when it hits that blue line here, actually I'll turn the stroke off so you can see it. wherever it hits this blue line, it's going to get deleted, and that's going to create that space that we need. So I'm going to highlight the blue, highlight the Q, and I'm going to say back minus the front. So when I do that, it deleted that blue line. Okay, so that creates the space that we needed here. And here's part of the Q, and here's part of the Q, and here's part of the Q. But now, if I pull it out, you'll see that it's all kinds of little pieces. So wherever that space was, it knocked it through. So you can control that by changing the contour value. You could, I did 0.01, but you could do 0.02 or even smaller, as much gap as you want. But that way you can you know, make space in there and have this as a one color logo, but still make it defined around your other object, if that makes sense. So anyways, that's the way I would do it. Hopefully that helps you.